Hey there, everyone. This is Jeff Donovan with the Fantasy Authority. Today I'm going to be going over Detroit Lions wide receiver Kenny Golladay and his fantasy outlook for the 2020 season. Before we get to 2020, though, we really need to go over Galladay's 2019 season and dive into the numbers because it really was a tale of two halves for Golladay for obvious reasons. Matthew Stafford went down with a transverse process fracture in his back halfway through the season, so from that point after, he wasn't working with a lot at the quarterback position. Through the first 9 weeks, though, so 8 games with Matthew Stafford, he put up 141 PPR points, which was good for wide receiver 11 up to that point. He was targeted nearly 8 times a game, caught only 56.5% of those targets, which ranks 61st in catch rate, so not extremely efficient. But when you look into the other numbers, you'll notice that Golladay had other factors that led to his success as a fantasy receiver. Just as a side note, these ranks are among receivers that played in 50% of their team snaps or higher. He ranks second in 100-plus yard receiving games with 4, tied first in receiving touchdowns with 7 with Mike Evans, first in both average depth of target at 17.32 and 4.04 fantasy points per touch. He also ranked 5th in red zone targets with 23 and 3rd in end zone targets with 11. Now, being that touchdown predictability from year to year is hard to project, the more opportunity the better. So it's really good to see that Stafford's looking his way in those situations, and I don't exactly expect that to change. Not a fan of pace stats, but it's noteworthy that his first 8-game pace with Matthew Stafford throughout a full season would have finished as wide receiver 3 among wide receivers. Now, as far as 2020 goes, Kenny Golladay at the time of this video release has an average draft position of 3.01, wide receiver 8, which is based off of the cumulative ADP from 4for4 Football, which pulls from a variety of different platforms, CBS, Yahoo, ESPN, a few others. So at 3.01, you're looking at an early 3rd round draft position. Golladay is going amongst an extremely large second tier of wide receivers, larger than probably we've ever seen in any fantasy season, among Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, Adam Thielen, DJ Moore, Allen Robinson, the list goes on. There's a whole bunch of great wide receivers in that second tier. As I discussed a moment ago, though, his touchdown upside is through the roof on an offense that's rolling out a 30-year-old Marvin Jones, a 34-year-old Danny Amendola, an extremely athletic and talented second-year tight end in TJ Hawkinson as well. Where Golladay lacks top-tier target ceiling, he makes up for with his high-end average depth of target and touchdown upside. All in all, Kenny Golladay projects to have a solid floor, a near elite ceiling under the right circumstances of fantasy drafts for 2020. If you find Kenny Golladay in the 4th round of some fantasy drafts, go ahead and smash draft and never look back. That'll do it for Kenny Galladay's outlook for the 2020 season. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button down below, subscribe, throw me some comments, and tune in for more videos from the Fantasy Authority to prepare yourselves for your 2020 fantasy football drafts. I'm Jeff Donovan. See you next time.